Howdy partners, it's so good to be here again to talk about film. And this is a Japanese film that I've been very eager to watch. This is the latest film from Kiyoshi Kurosawa, who is a well-respected Japanese filmmaker. And I regret to inform that I only know him by reputation, mainly from his cult classic 1997 film Cure. I definitely gotta put that high on my watch list. I've heard so many good things about it. So this is my introduction to his filmography. Better late than never, right? And before I forget, I do want to shout out Cinema Moderne for being the only theater in Montreal playing this obscure film. And in a sense I get it because this is a very strange and unconventional film. This isn't going to be your blockbuster hit like a lot of other films this summer. Cloud is a psychological thriller film that tells the story of this factory worker named Ryusuke Yoshi. It's curious how his name is very similar to our director, Kiyoshi. I imagine that it's on some level intentional. In any case, aside from him being a factory worker, he does have a side hustler as a reseller. If you're wondering what that means, perhaps you remember those asshole scalpers that bought out all the PS5s in 2020 when the console launched, and then resold them at double the price. At least that's how I personally related from my own life into this story. And I can totally understand how a lot of the people in this film totally hate this guy. So as you can see, our protagonist isn't exactly the noble hero. We might be able to relate to the financial struggle of our times, and that desire to, for once and for all, get out of that never-ending paycheck-to-paycheck rat race. Few films paint so effectively this dystopian financial horror reality like Cloud does. It is positively soul-draining seeing this one step forward and two steps backward doom loop that our protagonist seems to be stuck in. A veritable Sisyphus boulder kind of situation. Thus, Yoshi expands his business in an attempt to have that big break and reach the success he's been dreaming of. But as you might imagine, his schemes bring more trouble than peace in his life. I mean, you can only rip off people so many times and just keep getting away with it. Eventually, reality will come knocking at your door. Perhaps quite literally. The way the film's downward spiral progresses feels distinctly dreamlike and metaphorical in a really thought-provoking and unique way. All the characters we meet have this uncanny ability of appearing out of thin air just when they are required. The assistant in particular is a lot to take in. I did not expect things to evolve quite the way they did. There is something very fantasy-like about the way the events unfold later in the film, and there's something distinctly video gamey about it. And perhaps I am coloring my own interest and profession, I'm a game developer, onto this film, but I remember feeling that this film gave off Silent Hill vibes. For one, the film is in this Japanese context, then there's a slight tinge of horror that colors the experience of the film, but most of all, it's in the abstract, metaphorical incarnations of Yoshi's struggle that seem to manifest in his life. And then there's the fog, which is a regular presence throughout the film, which of course would once again make me think of something like Silent Hill. Now, I don't know for certain that Silent Hill was an influence on this project, but I think it's clear that there is a commentary in this film on games. It's quite literally spelled out for us in a pivotal scene that is happening at the arcade. We have some characters plotting a twisted crime, and then one of the characters compares it to that of a game. We're trying to convince the other guy, it's not that big of a deal, don't worry about it. Yeah, okay, sure. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I was entranced, thrilled, and on the edge of my seat throughout the whole time. And it even had a few laughs. Things do get a little cringe and wild at times, and things definitely go off the rails in the last chapter of the film. And then the ending itself leaves you on a very ambiguous note, which will definitely be a head-scratching moment, but I think the cast perfectly serves the need of the story, and I also love the art direction in this film. It's quite moody and somber, and it just oozes with style. This film is quite the vibe and tastefully done, which is why I'm ranging from an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. As far as I'm concerned, this is the second big win for Japan this year. Earlier this year, I got to see the melancholic gem Super Happy Forever. I highly recommend that one. Though technically Cloud is considered a 2024 film. It was even Japan's submission into the Oscars for the Best International Film category. But in any case, I'm only getting it now in theaters in Montreal, more than halfway throughout the year in 2025. Regardless what year we consider this film to be from, it is an experience I highly recommend, and I definitely want to check out Cure in a relatively near future. So with all that being said, wishing you and your loved ones nothing but the best. Take care and talk to you soon.